Hi, and welcome to probably one of the only videos that I'm going to do in regards to makeup. Now, this is how I generally do my makeup, which is entirely different than these professionals that do it. Um, Although I do take tips and tricks from them, but I just match them to how I would do my makeup. To start off with, I just put a little bit of face cream on to hydrate my skin. Um, I used a Neutrogena energy renewal in order to hydrate my skin. It's an old one, but it works still great. And now let's go ahead and get into my process. I'm probably not going to talk much because I like to focus, so I will try to edit in some talking, or at least text in some talking. What I generally like to start with is a slight concealer, and I generally just put it right around my eyes, right here. It's a liquid concealer, and that's up there, and I've painted on it. Until it comes to look, pretty much like that at the bottom. And then I go out here a little because, I got that darkness on the side. I don't really do much on the inside because it's already pretty light there. Then to mix it in, I use a clean pan and just kind of spread it around a little. Just to blot it in and get it mixed just a little. And blend it down just a smidge. That's for under my eyes. Oh, yep, I'm making all sorts of faces now. Like I said, go out from here, back, and back. Here it is again. I have no method to my madness. This is just how I do it. It's not always the same. It's not always perfect. But it's what works for me. After I do this, I generally take a little bit of primer and go ahead and attach it to the top of my eyes right up here. Because as you can see, I've got some pretty dark eyes. Once again, using my hand, I blend it in and up and in and out and up again. I tend to layer my eyes more than I do anything else. Because, well, my eyes are the darkest in my body. Or of my face, I should say, not body. Once again, next look. And as you can see, I mostly just go along the lash line to do it. Because I don't need to go that high. Because I can blend it up high. And you can't see from my hand in the way. But, see? Here we go. And blend it out so that way it blends in. It gives me a little better look. Not much, just a little. Now, I generally take a concealer like this, and I will just apply it over the primer, uncover pretty much my entire eye. Well, sort of. I get my eye line, and then I go up and over, leaving a gap. And I do it on both eyes. I got a songstress in the background. My daughter has decided to sing while I do this. I also go in here. This is the only place that gets this. Because otherwise I really don't generally mess with that part of my face. And then I do one swipe down here. And one swipe down here. Following the bag. As well, because that bag really hates it. Now, most people use brushes. I don't really have any, so I tend to use my hands. And I just roll it around into balls to get it. And I pull it down as I go. So that way it blends into my natural skin. For this part, I tend to actually go over my nose bridge right here, merging them together. And then for my eyes, I just go all the way up and over and back. Kind of like you know, when you wake up and you rub your eyes? It's kind of what I do. But I do it in somewhat of a circular motion. So that way it tries to get in everywhere it can, to lighten the color of my dark eyes. Like I said, this is not like how most normal people do it or professionals would do it. They use all sorts of tips and techniques, but they kind of take what they do and just merge them to what works best for me. Now, there are a lot of people that are worried about this right here, or the smile lines, or in my case, the frown lines. I don't. I don't really worry about that. I do take just a little bit of concealer, and I do put a little right here and a little right there, and that's just to kill down the redness. It's not to hide my lines. I'm old. I know it. I'm happy. I love my lines. It's just to kill that little redness around my nose. Everybody talks about contouring this, contouring that, getting rid of this. No, that's not me. I can do it, I just don't like to. I like the shape of my nose and everything like that. Now, my next step that I generally take is a foundation. And kind of like a cross between pale and porcelain, so I just went with porcelain this time. I get it on my fingers. I do everything with my hands. I don't really use like those beauty balls or other types of things. One, I don't have them, and two, I like to feel my skin where it's going. And I just minimally dab it on and then rub it in like I'm giving myself a face massage. And just in circular motion. Circular motions to get it all nice and in. Except for right here, I generally just do this. But for the rest of it, it's mostly circular motions to get it nice and into the skin. And as you can see, there are still some parts where it sticks out. So we go back over. Now, that's just the face. Some people, like me, not very many, will take a little bit and put it on underneath their neck and down their neck a little. This is the reason I do it like this, is because I like to even it out and make it look a little more like it's my natural skin. As you see, I still have some redness, but by the time I'm finished, hopefully it won't be that noticeable. And I go up onto my ears, you know, the little ruby things right here. I go up onto those and try to blend it out a little. And go into my hairline. Because believe it or not, forgetting your hairline does tend to make it look like you're wearing a mask. Some people seem to forget that. But they also change their hair to where it hides that. I'm kind of lazy a lot, so I just go all the way up in there. Now, when it comes to the rest, I'm missing my lip. That's not it. Now, although I said I don't have brushes, or many brushes, I do have a few. But I'm not really one to use my brushes unless I absolutely have to. So, I will show you what I mean. Let's see. Using a translucent powder. It's better if I just did this first. There we go. And then I just start patting it on. Now, once I get one area patted, I kind of brush it a little. And this will set everything that I've done so far. The way I do it, I try to follow the lines of my body more than anything when applying my stuff. Just like I said, I'm not a professional, so sue me if I'm not doing it correctly. But this is how I do mine. After using my brush, I go ahead and I take a little thingy and just pat it in to make sure it gets everywhere. I know brushes can get pretty much in all the places you need, but to me it doesn't feel like it goes completely finished unless it's like patted in. I guess this is why they use those beauty balls, to make sure that everything gets patted in correctly. But this is just how I do mine, which is not a professional, like makeup artist. But I do have some experience with makeup. Worked in theater for quite some time, so I had to do a lot of stage makeup. But that was also back when I was a little younger, and it was more fun. Now, I got all that done. I don't do much else when it comes into the aspect of my makeup. There. When it comes to my makeup, I'm pretty much a minimalist. I will do my face and my neck, just as I've shown, and then I will just throw on some eyeliner, flip up my lashes a bit, and apply some lipstick, and then I'm done. That's it for my makeup. So let's go ahead and do that. Now, most people start with an eyeliner first. However, I've come to find that for me, it's a lot easier to use mascara before I use eyeliner. I've already got long eyelashes, so this just really makes it worse, but I still use these things too. Okay? I just like the curl aspect. Now, for this, I'm actually going to pull out my little mirror so I can see what I'm doing a lot better. Most people will tell you to go back and forth and lift up. I'm not like that. I simply grab from the bottom and go directly up several times. And then I go on top. And then from the bottom one last time. And that's how I do it. See the difference? So now you can see that they're real. Ooh, ain't that kind of scary? I didn't lie. From the bottom, just brush it like you'd brush your hair. That's how I do it. Several times. Make sure to get the bottom coated nice and good. Over the top. Pulling it down. And one more time. Well, maybe a little more than one. From the bottom. Oh, that always happens. Don't know if you can tell, but on this side, I got mascara on the top of my face. So, to counteract that, I take my fluffy brush. Well, it's actually a paintbrush that I converted into a makeup brush, and then just paint it away. And away it goes. Well, oh. Now, to set the bottom lashes, which to me this is the most difficult part of doing my eyelashes, my bottom lashes, because I like to get mascara all over my eyes. Underneath anyway. So I've been finding it really difficult to do, to darken them up so that way they stand out. My eyelashes are done. Now, like I said, I do eyeliner, mascara, and then I'm pretty much done outside of the lips. I always do my mascara first. I find it a little easier when I do my mascara first to apply the eyeliner after, because then I have more of a solid base to work on. A lot of others prefer to do the eyeliner first and then do the mascara. Now, to each their own, not saying anyone's wrong or anything like that, but to each their own. And this is my own way of doing it. I don't apply to the top with a pencil. I only use a pencil for along the waterline, right underneath my lashes. Which, trust me, is a difficult thing to get used to, sticking something in your eyeball. One side. Sticking things in your eyeball hurts. Side two. And I just like to do a little on the bottom. And that's it. But it's not even. There we go. Now it's even. Hard to get symmetrical, which is a pain for me. If I do decide that I am going to put eyeliner on the top, I use a liquid liner. Just a simple liquid liner and do a small line. I don't always put cat's eyes or stuff like that because I don't really need to. I don't do anything with my eyebrows because if I try to darken them, I look a little weird. If I try to lighten them, I look even weirder. So I just leave them as they are through the makeup, but I do use a old mascara wand that I cleaned. And I just brush it a little so that they look nice. And that's it. The last thing that I generally do is apply some kind of makeup to my lips. Some kind of lipstick to my lips. Generally, my favorite is a more neutral color, like a brown shade. But lately, I've been going with a couple of reds. Before I apply any of that, I always line my lips with the liner I've had for ages. So old, I think it's older than I am sometimes. I will paint a little in. Kind of like making a mini set of lips inside. When I'm done with that, I prefer matte. Some people like to shine. I love matte lipstick. I don't even need my mirror. I can do it this way. And there you go. That is how I do my makeup. It's not professional like those who actually got licenses and went to school for it, but this is how I do my makeup. And it works perfectly fine for me. Each person is different, and I support your differences. And the only reason why I put this video on is because a friend of mine requested for me to show people how I change how I look from my normal dark-eyed self into a more bright-eyed, younger self. Don't ask me why. But after some convincing, I finally decided to do it. I don't do much, and it took quite some time, but that's also because I'm trying to talk and do this at the same time. Not a very easy task. So, I hope you enjoyed learning absolutely nothing from my video, but just watching me put on my makeup, and talk about useless stuff that probably won't matter to anybody. Anyway, thank you for coming. You have a great day, and bye!